You know what time it is? Deconstruction time.
3, 2, 1, go.
What up? It's your boy, Irvin Felix John, aka Mr. Toothpick. They only call me that for one reason, because of toothpick. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how you can achieve any calisthenics movement. Number one, we're going to start with progressions. I talk about progressions all the time because it is of grave importance. So progressions, you cannot expect to go into a gym and start lifting all types of weight and do things you've never done before. It's not going to happen. You're going to end up injured. Calisthenics is no different. It's going to require some brain powers, not just physical. You have to be able to understand the minor parts of these movements and deconstruct it. So let's say you have all these advanced movements that you want to achieve, you know, human flag, handstand, planche, all these other movements, muscle up, whatever. You have to be able to deconstruct these movements. Let's even take a push-up. A push-up is a nice basic movement that most people can do. But let's say you can't even do that. What is a way you would be able to deconstruct a push-up if your hips are sagging? If your hips are sagging and you're doing a push-up, chances are you're lacking deep core strength. You know what time it is? Deconstruction time. So let's deconstruct the push-up. So the push-up is essentially a moving plank. If you're having trouble keeping your core stabilized throughout the up and down phase, eccentric, concentric phase of a push-up, let's put in some isometrics, you know? Isometrics is creating muscle contraction but no movement, a plank. So a plank, you can get on your forearms, you can do a low plank, or you can do a high plank. I would recommend doing both if you cannot keep your core, I said your whore. If you cannot keep your core in line with your head down to your ankles, if you cannot keep it in a straight line, perform planks. Now the purpose of this is not about push-ups. I'm just presenting the argument that deconstructing exercises is the best way to achieve a movement. So the purpose of this is not muscle growth. We're looking at psychomotor skill development, neural adaptations. Basically, the simple term is mind-muscle connection. Our bodies are made to adapt. That's what we do. So what should happen now is you have to consistently put your body in a specific stress or scenario until it gets used to it. Eventually it will. It has to be consistent though. You can't do it one time here and then forget for 3 weeks and then come back and try and do it again and expect your body to know exactly how to do it without thinking about it. It's not gonna happen. You're not born knowing how to walk. Not even the knowing part. It's the physical capability. Our bodies simply don't have the physical capability to walk when you're born. Same thing. Yes, while you're learning, you're learning the mental part, psychomotor skill, your body also has to adapt strength-wise. Essentially what has to happen is your body has to recruit more muscle fibers, utilize more motor neurons, and that's how we get stronger. So what will the progressions help? The progressions, the breaking it down into simpler movements. Mobility, developing more strength, flexibility, and once again, the major part is the psychomotor skill development. Usually people will present the argument again that they're too big. We have these massive calisthenics athletes, even bigger, taller than me, and they do the same thing and even more, than what I do. Like we have Brooklyn Tank, massive, he's a big athlete and 200 plus pounds, does all this stuff. You have David Nani, I believe that's his name. He's like a 6 foot plus guy doing full planches and all that. Psychomotor skill development. There's a ton of other, if I mention every athlete, every heavyweight athlete will be here forever. I'm just proving the point that when you progress into these things the way you're supposed to, you'll be surprised what you can achieve. So if you're a light guy, you're not that heavy, you're not that tall, really no excuse, so don't try that. Proper form is key. Don't try and cheat it. When I see people doing, the bent arm planches, that does not count. That's not a planche. Once again, it is more difficult if you're a heavier person, but if you're light, and I'm not taking shots at anybody, I'm just presenting once again the point that do it properly. Don't try and cheat by, if you're not cheating anyone but yourself. You're gonna get injured, eventually. It just doesn't look pretty. All the words and theory and everything is cool, But how about I show you how you can actually progress into something like a front lever. So let's get out of here. So here we are, guys. First, if you're liking the video so far, please take this time to drop a thumbs up. I appreciate it. So if you're not familiar with the front lever, that right there is a front lever. Some of the angles might not be too good because we weren't allowed to film in here, so we had to kind of, finesse. But anyway, that is what a front lever looks like. We're gonna go ahead and get into one of the first things that we have here. So reps and sets, always start with the basics. That's what I talk about all the time, doing the basics, making sure that you have sufficient strength to perform the exercise before even trying to do it. So reps and sets, as you see here, I'm doing, your standard pull-ups. Make sure you keep the elbows alongside the body. You could do different variations of these pull-ups, definitely. The whole purpose of pull-ups, of course, is to strengthen the lats, and then the various muscles of the traps, the upper, mid, and lower trap. So that's what the reps and sets will do. Here, another one. This is another exercise that directly targets the muscles responsible for helping you in a front lever, and this is an inverted row. So if your body is closer to the ground, you're going to experience more resistance. That makes it more difficult. If you're ready for that, go ahead and do it. If not, just change the position of your body. Here's another one. Performing it with the resistance band, of course you could change the amount of resistance that you have based on the band that you buy. So the main thing I want you to focus on here is the arms. My arms are locked out completely. That's what you want to focus on. Lock out your arms completely. Do not cheat. Remember, I say you're not cheating anybody but yourself when you're doing improper form. You want to make sure that the form is proper in every repetition. So here's another angle here. Hopefully you can see what's going on here. I show firstly that you should not have your elbows bent. You see no bent elbows. We do not want that. No bent elbows. Yeah, there we go. That was a good one there. So guys, make sure, there we go. You can see the scapula there. You're not really retracting it too much with this exercise, even though you should. I mean, it's up to you. And here we have a unilateral exercise where you're performing it on one side at a time. So once again, targeting the lat, and you're gonna fill it in your triceps as well. So right here, the whole purpose of this right now is really engaging the scapula. So this exercise might look simple, but go ahead and give it a try. If you could do it between two benches, it might be easier for you. But here you're aligning the hip. So lock out the hip, thrust the hip forward, squeeze your glutes, and then right there, my elbows are pressing down into the bench, engaging my scapula. So this really, man, it's a burn. Trust me, when you give it a go, you're gonna see it for sure. You're gonna feel it for sure, I should say. There we go. So here we have another one. This exercise might work best if you have a significant other. You go ahead and have them be your partner. Use some more resistance there. But anyway, if not, then you go in the gym and look like an idiot like me. Do it like that, and then you could go ahead and throw a resistance band around there. Pretty simple to do that. I don't know how much weight that is exactly, but it works. You definitely feel it. So the whole purpose here, time under tension. Remember, the front lever is an isometric movement. So there, you want to make sure locked out completely, get your body used to that. This exercise might make you look stupid, but it works. You can call it banana, hollow body, blah, 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 whatever you want to call it. But these definitely work. So the whole purpose, once again, time under tension. Raising your scapula off the ground, raising your feet. The only thing that should really be there is, your lower back, the lumbar part of your back, and your glutes, your butt. Those are the parts that should be touching the ground. Right, so here, scapular retraction. Remember, mobility is a huge thing. I forgot to list, each and everything. I'll probably just write it over the video. But, reps, mobility, and then the actual skill development. So right here now is more of the mobility, getting my shoulders, lats, scapula, everything familiar with that movement. So here, now we're going into the actual skill development part. Based on this angle, it's hard to tell, but my hips are actually raised above, my torso. And then I come down to the horizontal position. My back and glutes are horizontal to the floor when I drop down. So this is now where you've developed enough strength to hold this, and now you would be dropping lower to the ground. So guys, that's really it right here. This is the last progression that would really help you out, just repping it out. So at this point, you should be able to hold it for a split second. Even when you're able to do this, the front lever guys, do these exercises if you would like to strengthen it. You could add resistance if you like to, but definitely give these a go. So thanks for watching, guys. So there you go, guys. Those are basic exercises, different levels. Always start with the basics. I'm gonna bring it back to me at the house. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, I hope you learned something valuable there, guys. Please, if this was helpful, give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a ton. Make sure you check out the other videos on my channel, and if you also enjoy that, make sure you subscribe. I have a lot of valuable stuff that are coming, and I already have a lot of stuff on my channel that you can check out, and I'm sure it will be helpful. Please, in the comment section below, let me know what is a movement you want to achieve and you want to learn the progression to. So make sure, like, and definitely share this with someone who will find it helpful. I'll see you guys in the next video.